Have you ever wondered if that old coin in your pocket or collection could be worth a fortune? Some rare coins have sold for millions of dollars, making them some of the most valuable collectibles in the world. In this video, we'll explore the most valuable coins and what makes them worth so much. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. First coin. And trust me, this one will leave you speechless. The 1946 Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin is one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. numismatics, particularly in the large date variety with an S mint mark. The Lincoln Wheat Cent series, first introduced in 1909, is iconic for its portrayal of President Abraham Lincoln. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, with the obverse featuring a portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agrarian roots. The year 1946 marked an important period in U.S. history. It came immediately after the end of World War II, which had a significant impact on the American economy and minting processes. By this time, the United States had moved past wartime coinage production and was transitioning back to civilian circulation. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent was minted in relatively high quantities, but certain varieties, such as the large date with the S mint mark, were produced in slightly lower numbers compared to the smaller date varieties. In 1946, the San Francisco Mint S mint mark was busy producing coins for the U.S. Treasury, and its output of the Lincoln Wheat Cent was part of a broader effort to satisfy post-war demand. However, it was also during this time that some minting errors began to surface, adding a layer of intrigue for collectors. The mintage figures for the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent with the S mint mark show that over 1.4 billion coins were produced. But most of these coins were in lower grades of preservation, meaning they are widely available in lower circulated conditions. However, it is the high-grade and uncirculated examples that have attracted the most attention from collectors and investors. The value of these coins can vary significantly based on condition, with examples in uncirculated condition fetching a premium. In the auction market, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent with the S mint mark, in circulated condition, can range in value. As of recent years, you can expect prices in the lower grade circulated condition to hover around $38,000, depending on factors such as wear, toning, and other environmental factors. However, if you happen to find an example in higher grade condition, like AU or mint state, you could see values climb to $42,000 or even higher. The true market value of these coins is not just driven by their mintage numbers, but also by their historical context. As we look at the market today, more and more collectors are focusing on acquiring coins from certain time periods, and the post-Bibtwiwis era, specifically, has seen an uptick in demand. For example, the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent with the S mint mark, despite its high mintage, is part of a series that many collectors are eager to own due to its historical significance. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat 1-cent coin features a classic design that collectors admire. The obverse, which features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, is the work of Victor David Brenner, who designed this coin as part of a series that became instantly recognizable in American numismatics. Lincoln is depicted in a left-facing bust, looking dignified, with the inscription "Liberty" to the left and the year of minting 1946 to the right. Above Lincoln's portrait, we have the words, "In God We Trust," a motto that has appeared on U.S. coins since 1864. In terms of design, the large date variety of the 1946 S coin stands out for its bold numbers, which are larger and more spaced out than the small date variety that was also produced in the same year. This distinguishing feature gives the 1946 S large date coin a unique appearance, and collectors often seek it out for its aesthetic value. As with any popular series of coins, errors have been found among the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cents. Some of the most notable errors on the 1946 S coins are off-center strikes and die cracks, both of which are sought after by error coin enthusiasts. The presence of these errors can significantly increase the value of the coin, especially if the error is noticeable and dramatic. The fact that the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Cent has both high mintage numbers and a history of errors only adds to its allure for collectors. This coin holds a special place in the hearts of numismatists because of its historical significance, as well as its prominent role in the post-war period. Collectors have also long been drawn to coins with S mint marks. Next, we have the 1940 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark. This coin is considered one of the key examples in the series of Monticello nickels. While the coin itself is a standard, unremarkable piece for many collectors, its appeal lies in the historical context, the relatively low number of high-quality examples remaining, and the growing interest in coins from the pre-war era. The 1940 Jefferson nickel is significant not because of any major design changes, but because it marks a point in American coinage before the wartime upheaval of the 1940s. By this point, the U.S. Mint had been striking the Jefferson nickel for a number of years. The reverse design featuring Monticello had been in use since 1938, but the 1940 release was one of the last major coin issues before the United States became deeply involved in the Second World War. It is worth noting that the 1940s saw significant changes to the coinage of the U.S., and the design of the Jefferson nickel would be one of the coins directly impacted by these changes. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use mint marks for coins produced in that facility. In today's market, a 1940 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, in fine condition, is not nearly as rare or valuable as some of the other coins in the series, but it still carries a solid premium. Coins in fine condition are typically worn but still legible, and their historical significance can bring substantial bids at auctions. Expect to see these coins go for $30,000 to $75,000 at auction, depending on the level of collector interest. What's crucial to understand about the 1940 coin, like the 1942 version with the P mint mark, is that there is still a tremendous level of interest in wartime coins and pre-war designs. The 1940 nickel represents a piece of history from the years leading up to the war, and even though the minting numbers were higher than other years, they are still relatively scarce in certain grades. The mintage for the 1940 Jefferson nickel was approximately 130 million coins, which was typical for coins of that era. However, the condition and quality of coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint are what truly impact their rarity. Many of these coins were heavily circulated and are now found in lower grades. As a result, finding one in fine condition is relatively rare. For collectors, the absence of a mint mark can add an element of uniqueness to the coin. Mint marks were used to indicate the mint of origin, and in 1940, Philadelphia didn't use one. This subtle detail makes the 1940 Jefferson nickel stand out, as it contrasts with other years that included mint marks. The coin features the same timeless design that collectors cherish. Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and the iconic Monticello on the reverse are both aesthetically and historically significant. The 1940 coin, although it lacks the mint mark of other mints like Denver or San Francisco, carries that connection to an era just before World War II, which is why it has become sought after by collectors. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat. 1-cent coin, with the large date and S mint mark, is another excellent example of post-war U.S. coinage. By the time this coin was struck, the United States was well into the Cold War, and the economic landscape had evolved significantly since the end of World War II. The year 1950 marked a time of transition, as the country was beginning to experience economic prosperity in the 1950s, an era known for its post-war boom. During this time, the U.S. Mint was focused on producing coins to meet the needs of a growing economy. The San Francisco Mint, mint mark S, played a key role in the production of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat cent, and as with other years in the series, these coins were made with a copper composition. The large date variety in 1950, with the S mint mark, is particularly popular among collectors due to its distinctive size and shape. These large date coins stand out for their bold and clear numbers. The 1950 S Lincoln Wheat cent is one of the more highly sought-after coins in the series, especially in higher grades. The total mintage of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat cent was over 1 billion coins, but the San Francisco Mint produced a relatively smaller number of coins compared to the Philadelphia and Denver mints. In the case of the 1950 S variety, the mintage was around 72 million coins, which may seem like a high number, but it's important to remember that not all of these coins were preserved in high grades. In the auction market today, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat cent, with the large date and S mint mark in circulated condition, typically fetches between $10,000 to $20,000 depending on the grade and wear of the coin. However, coins that are well preserved and have minimal wear can command a premium, with higher grade examples reaching values of $15,000 to $30,000, and in some cases, even more for pristine specimens. Interestingly, in the rare coin market, high-grade specimens of this coin have continued to climb in value as collectors seek out coins from specific years and mints. Despite its relatively high mintage, the 1950s large-date Lincoln Wheat cent is a coin that has stood the test of time in terms of collector interest. The 1950s Lincoln Wheat cent shares the same design as the other coins in the series, featuring the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse features the two stalks of wheat, a symbol of the country's agricultural roots. The inscription, United States of America, runs along the top of the reverse, and 1 cent is written in the center between the stalks of wheat. The large date variety stands out because of the bold, larger numerals and the spacing between them. This makes the 1950s large date version easier to identify than the smaller date variety. In addition, the clear and sharp design features, especially when the coin is in higher grade condition, make it one of the more attractive coins for collectors. The 1950s Lincoln Wheat cent, like its 1946 counterpart, is also known for having a range of minting errors. Some of the most interesting errors found on these coins include doubled dies, where the design is stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. This error is highly prized among error coin collectors. The 1950s Lincoln Wheat cent has significant collector interest not only because of its high mintage, but also due to the fact that it is a part of the popular Lincoln Wheat cent series, which has remained one of the most actively collected series in U.S. coinage. Collectors value these coins for their historical context, their role in post-Fatu American coinage, and the potential for finding error varieties that add additional value. The 1960 Jefferson nickel is part of a fascinating period in the history of American coinage. First minted in 1938, the Jefferson nickel has undergone several design updates, but the 1960 version is one that stands out in terms of value, especially when you have the rare, large date variation. This coin, featuring a larger 1960 date, marks a period of transition in the U.S. minting processes. The reverse design of the Jefferson nickel, which features an image of Monticello, has been a constant in the coin's history. The obverse, featuring Thomas Jefferson's portrait, was designed by Felix Schlag and remains one of the most recognizable U.S. coin designs. However, over the years, there have been small modifications in the size and placement of the date, mint mark, and other aspects that collectors pay close attention to. The large date variant of the 1960 Jefferson nickel is considered particularly rare. This variation was a result of a design change at the mint. A higher number of larger-sized digits were struck for the year, which contributed to the uniqueness of the coin. The rusty condition of this particular coin makes it even rarer. Rust can occur due to poor storage conditions or natural wear and tear. While this may not seem desirable to the casual observer, in the world of coin collecting, some collectors find the age and patina of rusted coins to add an intriguing character, making it a highly sought-after specimen for certain niche markets. The 1960 Jefferson nickel, in general, had a significant mintage across all varieties, but the large date version in rusty condition pushes the market value far beyond what most other Jefferson nickels fetch. While most 1960 Jefferson nickels are worth just a few cents in average condition, the large date variant in poor condition can fetch upwards of $76,000 to $80,000, depending on the severity of the rust and wear. Interestingly, rusty coins like this one hold a certain charm in the eyes of collectors who are interested in the history of the coin. As rust forms, it sometimes takes on unique patterns, and these marks can make the coin even more valuable to specific collectors, particularly those who seek coins with interesting and unique conditions. There were over 90 million Jefferson nickels minted in 1960, but only a small percentage of them feature the large date variation, making this coin relatively rare, even in its rusty state. Many coins were in circulation for decades before being lost or damaged, and only a fraction remain in collectible condition. As previously mentioned, the design of the 1960 Jefferson nickel, while being relatively standard, features some subtle but significant design details. The obverse shows Thomas Jefferson, and the reverse shows Monticello, the famous home of Jefferson in Virginia. The large date error on this coin became an interesting anomaly in U.S. coinage history and contributes to its collector interest. Next up, the Abraham Lincoln. Wheat 1-cent coins, minted from 1909 to 1958, hold a special place in the hearts of collectors. The series gets its name from the distinctive wheat ears reverse design crafted by Victor David Brenner. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, this iconic series ran for decades, making the coins widely circulated and widely known. The 1952 Lincoln wheat cent was minted during the post-World War II period, an era that saw a growing economy and an expanding middle class in the United States. The 1952 coin, like many from the early 1950s, was produced in vast quantities at the Denver Mint, which is where the D Mint mark originates. However, despite being common, the condition and specific attributes of the coin play a significant role in determining its market value. While a regular 1952 Lincoln wheat cent isn't worth much in its average circulated state, coins that exhibit unique characteristics or are in exceptionally rare condition can fetch a premium price at auction. In particular, the dirty condition of this coin has sparked significant interest. While most collectors prefer pristine coins, the dirt and tarnish found on this specific 1952 Lincoln cent add a touch of character that appeals to certain buyers. Coins with unique tarnish or wear patterns can hold higher than expected value, especially when it is in the right market. In today's auction market, the 1952 Lincoln cent with D Mint mark in dirty condition could reach anywhere from $17,000 depending on the severity of the dirt, discoloration, and wear. However, if the coin features an unusually high level of dirt that enhances its authenticity or uniqueness, it could fetch a price on the higher end of the scale. The market for these types of coins is often driven by niche collectors who appreciate the stories and characteristics told through dirt or tarnish. The 1952 Lincoln wheat cent with the D Mint mark was minted in large quantities, with over 1.1 billion coins being produced. This high mintage typically makes the coin relatively common in most conditions. However, as with all coins, the value of 1952 Lincoln wheat cents can be greatly affected by the coin's grade, condition, and any errors or variations that may exist. The D Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which was one of the busiest mints in the United States at the time. Given the large mintage numbers, this particular coin is not considered rare in a general sense. But for collectors seeking to build specific types of collections, coins like these can offer an interesting challenge due to their varying states of preservation. The design of the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent is quintessential to the series. On the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln, as envisioned by Victor David Brenner. The inscription reads, "In God we trust," along with the date, 1952. The reverse of the coin features the famous wheat ears design with the words E pluribus unum and 1 cent within the design, flanked by 2 stalks of wheat. The coin's overall design speaks to the industrious nature of the country during Lincoln's time. The coin's specific design features, such as Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks, remain attractive even in a dirty condition. This particular 1952 coin in dirty condition still retains those intricate features, though it might be harder to identify some of the fine details due to the wear and grime. Errors can make a coin even more valuable, though the 1952 Lincoln wheat cent typically does not come with notable errors. However, collectors have been known to find various die cracks, off-center strikes, and even overstrikes that make these coins rare. Despite being in a dirty condition, the coin could feature subtle errors that enhance its value. Collector interest in coins like this one is driven by a fascination with history, unique markings, and the fact that Lincoln wheat cents were produced during a significant period in U.S. history. Even a coin in a dirty state is still valued for its historical significance. Next up. Now, let's shift our focus to the 1970 Jefferson nickel, another noteworthy coin from this beloved series. The 1970 nickel, like its predecessors, features the classic design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. However, it was minted during a time when the United States was undergoing significant social and economic changes. The 1970s were marked by shifts in political power, economic struggle, and rising inflation, which would ultimately affect the design and production of U.S. coins. The large date version of the 1970 nickel is particularly rare. The variation, along with the S mint mark, which indicates it was struck at the San Francisco Mint, makes this coin a prized find among collectors. The S mint mark, added to the coin's design, was done in small quantities, contributing to its rarity. Now, when it comes to the color-dirty condition of this coin, this can sometimes refer to a specific kind of tarnishing that coins experience after years in circulation. This could be a result of exposure to the elements, or it could be due to improper storage. The color-dirty condition of this coin isn't necessarily a turnoff for collectors. In fact, like with the previous 1960 large date coin, some collectors actually find these coins with stains, tarnish, and discoloration to have a unique charm. When it comes to market value, the 1970 Jefferson nickel with the S mint mark can fetch a significant premium, especially when it's in relatively good condition. The dirty condition, however, will lower its value slightly. Depending on the level of tarnish and the coin's overall state, this could range from about $89,000 to $95,000 in today's market. With a mintage of approximately 150 million 1970 Jefferson nickels, it might seem like this coin is a common find. But the large date variation combined with the S mint mark means that this version is highly coveted. Even though a large portion of these coins were circulated, not all of them have survived in good enough condition to reach the auction block. Interestingly, the dirty color condition can sometimes add to the allure of the coin, as collectors enjoy the visual uniqueness these marks create. Coins with such visible and distinctive coloration can attract numismatists who appreciate the look of aged or weathered currency, making them valuable to a niche group within the coin collecting community. The 1970 Jefferson nickel has the familiar design of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello, but its subtle changes in the size of the date and the presence of the S mint mark are what truly make it stand out. While the coin might appear similar to other versions at first glance, collectors who are paying attention can spot the differences that elevate its value. In terms of errors, this coin does not carry a significant error in the traditional sense. However, the large date and S mint mark make it an outlier among other Jefferson nickels of its time, and thus it is of great interest to those who specialize in mint marks and variations. Coins like this one often lead to intense bidding wars at auctions, as their rarity continues to increase with time. Collectors who are particularly drawn to mint marks and coin variations will find the 1970 large date with the S mint mark in any condition to be an exceptional addition to their collection. Whether it's the color-dirty condition that gives the coin its own unique personality or the historical value of the 1970s era, this coin is a collector's dream. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat cent was minted in a time of economic recovery following the end of World War II. As the U.S. entered the post-war boom, the minting of coins was steady. The 1950 Lincoln cent comes at an important historical crossroads, with the country enjoying newfound prosperity after years of wartime sacrifice. Much like the 1952 coin, the 1950 Lincoln cent features a similar design, but with unique aspects due to its production year. The year 1950 was important not only for coin collectors but for U.S. history as well. By this time, Abraham Lincoln's image on the cent had been in circulation for over 4 decades. The 1950 coin is particularly notable for its clean, sharp design, making it a favorite among collectors seeking to add a piece of history to their collection. The 1950 Lincoln wheat cent in fine condition is an excellent example of a coin that has seen steady appreciation over time. While this coin wasn't produced in limited quantities, its fine condition makes it much more desirable than its heavily worn counterparts. In today's auction market, the 1950 Lincoln cent with the D mint mark can command a price between $9,000 depending on the specific state of the coin. Coins in fine condition, which are well worn but still show clear details, are often valued higher than those in poorer states. Additionally, when this coin is in an especially well-preserved, fine condition, it may attract more interest from buyers. The market for coins like these is consistent, especially among collectors who are focusing on building sets of coins from the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat Cent had a mintage of over 1 billion coins. This high mintage means that the coin is not rare, and it doesn't have the same level of rarity that drives prices for certain other coins. However, due to its age, collectors are often more interested in those coins that are well preserved. Coins from the Denver Mint are always in demand because of the mint's significant role in coin production, and the D Mint mark on the 1950 Lincoln Cent holds a particular appeal for collectors looking to acquire examples from this minting facility. Like all Lincoln Wheat Cents, the 1950 coin features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This timeless image captures the legacy of one of the United States' greatest presidents. On the reverse side, we see the famous wheat stalks design, symbolizing the agricultural foundation of the country during Lincoln's time. The coin's fine condition allows collectors to appreciate the sharpness of the details on both the obverse and reverse. As with many coins from this era, there are some notable errors associated with the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Cent, such as double dies and overstrikes, but these are relatively rare. For the 1950 coin in fine condition, there is less likelihood of it having a noticeable error unless it has been particularly misstruck. That said, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat Cent continues to draw collector interest due to its historical significance, its beautiful design, and the fact that it represents a key year in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. Next up, the 1942 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel is one of the most interesting and valuable coins in American numismatics, especially when you look at variations like the large P mint mark. The 1942 issue is particularly significant in American coin history, not only because of its wartime connection, but also because of the errors and minting inconsistencies that occurred during this period. 1942 was a pivotal year in U.S. history, especially during the Second World War. As the country mobilized for war, the production of coinage was altered. The U.S. Mint had to switch to using nickel in wartime, which affected the composition of many coins, including the Jefferson nickel. In 1942, due to shortages of materials for war production, the Mint altered the composition of coins, including replacing the usual copper with silver. While the nickel traditionally featured a copper-nickel blend, the 1942 coinage underwent changes, as the Mint started to reduce the amount of nickel used in the coinage, making it more valuable for the war effort. With that historical significance, the coin is a symbol of the wartime adjustments in U.S. production. It became a symbol of the sacrifices being made at the time. The 1942 Jefferson nickel has a rather standard design, featuring a profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. However, the coin's historical impact and scarcity add tremendous value, especially with errors like the large P mint mark, which we will discuss further. The 1942 large P mint mark is rare and, over the years, has garnered considerable attention in auction markets. When you consider the dirty condition of a coin, its value could fluctuate considerably. Coins in lower-grade conditions often don't bring in as much as pristine examples, but they still hold substantial value, especially for collectors of wartime coins. In today's market, even coins in dirty or circulated conditions can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. For example, a 1942 Jefferson nickel with a large P mint mark in dirty condition might go for anywhere between $200,000, depending on the extent of wear and the specifics of its mintage. While these coins are not considered to be in the best condition, they have a unique historical significance that adds to their collectability. For rare coins like these, condition is a key factor, but rarity and historical importance can overcome flaws. The large P mint mark is significant for collectors, as it was used for only a limited time, so even in a dirty or worn state, this coin carries immense value. The mintage of the 1942 Jefferson nickel was approximately 130 million coins. However, only a small percentage of these coins feature the large P mint mark, which was used on a specific batch of coins minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint typically didn't use a mint mark, But in 1942, due to wartime needs, a large P was stamped to distinguish these coins from others. Coins with a mint mark are considered more desirable because they tell the story of a specific mint's production and the events surrounding its creation. The rarity of the 1942 Jefferson nickel with the large P mint mark comes from the fact that not many survived in great condition, and fewer still remain in circulation today. A coin that has been heavily worn or in dirty condition can still be worth a lot due to the rarity of that particular mint mark. The 1942 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson by sculptor Felix Schlag, a design that remains an iconic symbol of American coinage. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's estate in Virginia, is depicted, which gives the coin a strong historical connection. The large P mint mark, used for a short time, further piques collector interest because it is seen as an anomaly in the series. What makes this coin even more attractive to collectors is the historical context, a time of war when resources were limited, and every coin struck had a story to tell. Add to that the error of the large mint mark and the coin's inclusion in an era of wartime coinage, and you have a perfect storm of demand among collectors. Let's start with the next coin on our list, the 1941 wheat 1 cent with a large date and the D mint mark in good condition. This coin is one of the most recognized pieces in the realm of U.S. numismatics, and its value on today's auction market is astronomical, especially considering its historical context and the collector interest it has garnered. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat Cent was part of a series that began in 1909, designed by renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner. The design on the obverse features Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln's image is captured in a way that reflects his legacy and importance in American history. This coin was issued in the wake of significant historical events. The country was still reeling from the Great Depression and was about to enter World War II, which would forever change the course of global history. The 1941 coin marks a pivotal moment in U.S. history, as it represents a coin issued right before America's entry into World War II. This particular year has special significance because the U.S. government began to transition to wartime production, and the availability of copper, which was used in the minting of coins, was becoming scarce. This scarcity would later lead to the introduction of other metals in coin production, but in 1941, the government had yet to make significant changes to coinage. The 1941 Lincoln cent, with the large date and D mint mark, is particularly desirable due to its distinctive characteristics. The large date version refers to the way the numbers in the date are more pronounced and spaced apart compared to other versions of the same year. This is an important detail, as the mintage of this specific design was lower compared to other variations, increasing its rarity. The coin's reverse design, featuring 2 stalks of wheat, is just as iconic as its obverse. The reverse was used for all wheat cents from 1909 to 1958, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. The D mint mark, located on the reverse just beneath the wheat stalks, signifies that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. The presence of this mint mark adds an additional layer of rarity to the coin since different mint marks can affect a coin's value. The mintage of the 1941 Lincoln Wheat Cent was substantial, but it wasn't evenly distributed. 1,057,350,000 of these coins were struck that year. However, not all of them are in equal demand among collectors. The large date variety of this coin is especially rare when compared to the small date version, and collectors will often pay a premium for the large date version, particularly in higher grades. Coins with the D mint mark are slightly rarer than those minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark, making them more desirable to numismatists who focus on mint mark varieties. The good condition of this coin, although not the highest grade, still holds significant value because of its age, rarity, and historical significance. Now, let's talk about the current market value of this coin. While a 1941 Lincoln Wheat Cent with the large date and D mint mark in good condition might not break the bank like some other rarer versions, it still has notable value on today's auction market. Coins in good condition typically fetch anywhere between $48,000 depending on the exact state of preservation. However, these coins often become more valuable in the right market conditions, particularly when an enthusiastic collector seeks a specific mint mark or date combination. The value of the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent has fluctuated over the years, but it's safe to say that it continues to rise as interest in coin collecting increases. Rare coin auctions, particularly those dedicated to wheat cents or Lincoln Memorial coins, often feature this coin, and prices can soar well above the average depending on demand. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering minting errors, and this coin is no exception. There are numerous error varieties in the Lincoln wheat cent series, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks. While the 1941D large date version is rare in its own right, finding one with a minting error can significantly boost its value. Collectors who are particularly interested in error coins will actively seek out these rare varieties for their collection. In addition to errors, many collectors are drawn to the wheat cent series due to its connection to American history. These coins are often seen as a tangible link to the past, and owning a piece of this history is part of the attraction for collectors. For example, a coin like the 1941 Lincoln wheat cent with the large date and D mint mark is desirable not just for its scarcity, but because it offers a snapshot of life in America at the time. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting! Next up, the 1949 Jefferson nickel holds a special place in the history of United States numismatics. Struck during a time when the U.S. economy was rebuilding after World War II, this coin was part of a larger effort to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. The Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel features an image of Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse, and his profile on the obverse. In 1949, the United States Mint produced the nickel with a large date design, which is significant because this coin was issued during the final years of the transition between wartime and peacetime coinage. The 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, indicating it was struck in Philadelphia, saw a significant number of issues, but it wasn't as widely circulated as some of the other years from the 1940s. While the U.S. was still in the process of economic recovery, there were some key design features on the 1949 nickel that collectors now find appealing. The large date is one of the distinguishing factors of this coin. The design features an elongated 9 in 1949, making it stand out when compared to other years. The obverse of the coin features a bust of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag, a German immigrant who won a design competition in 1938. On the reverse, we find the stately Monticello, which reflects Jefferson's architectural achievements and love for classical design. This structure has become a symbol of American history. The 1949 Jefferson nickel, particularly in fine condition, carries a substantial market value today. While it was minted in relatively large numbers with more than 38 million coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the surviving examples in fine condition have become increasingly rare due to wear and attrition over the decades. These coins often come with some wear on Jefferson's portrait and Monticello, but even so, coins in fine condition can fetch a higher price at auctions. The value of this coin in today's market fluctuates based on various factors, including demand condition and rarity. As of recent market trends, the 1949 Jefferson nickel in fine condition is valued anywhere between $15,000 and $40,000, depending on the specifics of the auction. This value can rise significantly if the coin is graded higher, such as in very fine or extremely fine condition, where values could reach $50,000 or more. But in the context of fine condition, it remains a popular and valuable coin for collectors seeking a piece of mid-20th century U.S. history. What makes this coin particularly valuable is its place in numismatic history. The large date variety, often more noticeable to collectors, adds an extra level of rarity. While not necessarily an error coin, the difference in date size has spurred interest in this coin, making it a standout piece in Jefferson nickel collections. As mentioned earlier, the design of the 1949 Jefferson nickel features Felix Schlag's iconic depiction of Jefferson's profile on the obverse, which remains unchanged since 1938. The reverse, featuring Monticello, represents Jefferson's architectural legacy. The 1949 nickel, in particular, is known for its distinct large 9 in the year. This subtle but noticeable design feature differentiates it from other years, making it a key focus for collectors. Collectors also look closely at the coin's overall wear and how well the design details are preserved. The condition is critical in determining its value. Higher-grade coins with clear features on both the obverse and reverse are worth considerably more than heavily worn examples. The large date feature adds a sense of uniqueness to the coin, contributing to its higher value. Though the 1949 Jefferson nickel does not feature significant minting errors, the large date variety does spark curiosity among collectors. Some coins may have slight misalignments or imperfections, which could increase their value, especially if they are discovered in uncirculated or mint state. The value of this coin is also linked to broader trends in numismatics. Jefferson nickels, especially from the 1940s, are highly collected by enthusiasts of U.S. coinage, and as a result, the 1949 large date is highly sought after. Collectors interested in the series often focus on variations in mint marks, date sizes, and other subtle design differences. A coin in fine condition from this era, with clear details and minimal wear, can fetch impressive prices at auctions. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!